That slide.
All right, sorry about that. I was in the middle of saying I've cleared the Sigma's engine bay, the XC scuttle, and the bike tank, and I wrecked everything because of a technical problem with the prep wash, and it's argued with the ISO free. So I'm pretty bummed about that. But I can get the engine bay back. That's not too bad, and the scuttle I'll get back. But the bike tank I've ruined. And what's the other thing? I can't remember. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was here again. I was here just a minute ago. Hello, Katie. Hello, DC. And Matt Wee, is it 69? Andrew Simpson, everyone, hello, how are you going? So it's unusual for me to be on at this time. It's 3:20 in the afternoon. Hello from Oregon, Portland, Oregon. Hello, Lana's here. Come and join us for a live feed. Come on, just say hello.
No.
She won't come on. My kids are bashful. So yeah, so I haven't done a very good job. Came across the channel when looking up Mitsubishi stuff. Loving the Sigma build. It's a nice cheap build. It's so easy next to the Fords, and I don't have to do it to the standard I've done the Fords. The Fords are restored, the Sigmas a makeover, for want of a better term. So it's a lot of fun for me and nice and easy to do. It's a very simple job. It's a pretty big job, but I don't think it is compared to the Fords, because you don't have to take every bit of paint off and start again. You can just scuff it and dust it over, you know. It's all really good. Hello, Ripoff. How you going? Joel Clark, how you going, Joel? It's good to see you, and thanks very much. I painted your Joel Clark. You're the one who gave me the moldings for the XC, I'm sure, and I've had the I painted them and I've had the screens fitted, so that's all good. Hello, Bruce. How are you today? G'day, Clint. It's Robert from Iowa. Hi, Robert. How you going? I'm Peter from Melbourne. When's the CB350 finished? Well, I've just wrecked the tank. I've just wrecked it. I cleared it and used an inappropriate prep wash that argued with the clear, and I've wrecked it. So it doesn't matter. We will sort it out. And I don't want to have to repaint the whole thing. I might just put up with the blemishes, a little bit of crappy silver, and I might just colour sand it and buff it and just leave it. I'll just see. Oh, Robert Sherrod, the guy who sent the Briggs parts. I haven't done much with the Briggs at the moment. The parts are there on the bench in the garage, awaiting some downtime, probably pretty similar to what I got now. I just thought I'd take a break. I've been on the thing every day, only for sort of an hour or so. I've welded the front of the sills up behind the guards, and I've welded the repair sections on for the Sigma, and one turned out really well. One's got a bit of a wow in it, but I'll get that out. That's all good. That's all cool. What do we got? XW, yeah, I was in the XW today. I took it for a nice drive. A huge auction near me is a bunch of XDs and motors and stuff. Would you be interested? It's in Bendigo. It's on tomorrow, I think. Not at the moment because I'm poor. I haven't got much money. And I found a guy with power steering for this little Sigma I'm doing. I'm just going to draw the curtain down just a sec, because we're getting a bit of a, that might be a bit easier to see. What was I going to say? Yeah, guy's got some power steering for the Sigma up at GK, so I'm going to stick that in. And so he wants $500 for it, which is a lot of money, but how many Sigmas have power steering? It's as rare as rocking horse poo. YouTube small, an angry dude. I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. I don't know what you mean by that, unless it's somebody else you're talking to. Loving your work on Sigma. Yeah, everyone's liking the Sigma. What happened to Rosie's rock? Rosie's rock's in her room. Rosie! I'm trying to get her together. Pasco, Washington. I've got Americans. Hello, Americans. How are you? It's good to see the Americans. Last time I went to America was in 1990, I think. I was in New York and California. So what was I saying? Yeah, I got some power steering. And it's like the Starlet, you never see them. Oh, look. NBN's being abusive. I don't know why. I've never seen a Sigma until this series. It's a cool project to see unfold. Yeah, look, it's a cheapy one. XL250 with the knock. I've got the engine there. And the XL250 is having a new crank pressed together. a big end and a set of bearings for it. The problem with the knock was piston slap, which I didn't pick. And the guy that honed it, he did the he got to write him in. He did the he honed it and he hydroblasted. Dave got them all done with the same guy, and he thought it was all right. And I looked at it and thought, I'm saying piston's worse than theirs. And it ended up that's what the knock was. So we're completely rebuilding it. And I'm just waiting for that crank to come back and I'll put it together. G'day from Ringwood. That's close. What was it? Darren, I think the Sigma build is interesting because it's not something people tend to bother with. It's exactly right. Why am I bothering? People are like, oh, you're mental, mate. What are you doing? But it's good fun. I mean, it's just not going to be to the same standard as the others. And I don't care because you got to look at it. If the XW is like 50 grand worth, the Sigma's worth 4 at the most. You know what I mean? So what do you call it? Overcapitalise with it, but I'll keep it, I think. And just stick a little hairdryer on it. Power steering again. Power steering is going to make it great, and you never see it. So I've got to jump on this. It's $500, but what do you do? So power steering with a turbocharger will make it a light car to drive, whereas normally they're very, very heavy and they're very slow. Well, not so much slow. They are slow. They're talky, but they're slow. God, everyone's from around here. G'day from Heathmont. I used to live in Heathmont before I lived here. So it's all good. I'm just waiting for the clear to tack off. It is tacked off now, but I can't put it under a cover in the way it is. 2 Lancers, the same year of which small version of the Sigmas. I thought they were Colts. Oh, another one you're talking about, Chrysler Lancer. Yep. Got me motivated to work on the 81 Dodge Ram truck again. Once spring arrives, will be a restoration project that features low miles. Dodge Ram's a nice truck. Hello from Croydon. There's a guy in Croydon. So there's a guy in Heathmont, there's one in Croydon, and there's one in Ringwood. And it's all right next door to me. So yeah, I wouldn't run a truck. I've got no space. We thought about moving. If we move, I'm going to build a big shed and have everything in there. And everything's sort of tucked away under covers, and I don't enjoy them like that. I'm not selling anything. I had LJ Tiranas, I've had a Galaxy, Morris 1500s, I've had all sorts of Mercedes-Benz SLCs. I've had a couple of those. And I'm sick of selling things and regretting it. So I'm going to hang on to this stuff. You know what I mean? Unless my wife divorces me, then I'll be selling everything. Chris from Lillardale. Yes, I'll do another Wolseley. I want to do a freeway. I've always wanted an Austin freeway. I don't have the Austin Cambridge Countryman. I did have to sell that. It was being stored at the Chook Shed with the club, the Wolseley Car Club, and they had to, the old gentleman that owned the place was sick, and I think he was going into care, so his sons had to sell his property in Warrandyte. It wasn't Park Orchard. And we had to move. So I was paying $10 a week or something storage, and I was really happy with that because it's just such a rare car. And then the guy that bought it, I sold it for $2,400, and he sold it very shortly after for $1,700. And I just wanted to get it back, and I couldn't. My shed is a TARDIS. I can't believe you got in there for it. Yeah. What you've got in there for its size, I know it's ridiculous. Saw a circa 1976 Lancer in Box Hill the other day. Stood out like a sore thumb in its original plates. That's lovely to see that. I don't care what it is. If it's old, I like it. Can't wait to see the XC finished, yeah. The XC annoys me from time to time. Jason Hill shot a film and I didn't know the camera was on. We were swearing and carrying on and smoking and doing all sorts of things in there, and he published it. And we had to get rid of it. How long do you think the XC will take to finish? The XC won't take long, but everything that I do on it, I'm doing more than once. Oh, that's not really true. I get the bonnet was mint. Here's a good example. And it took ages and ages. Oh, way to go. That's lovely. Thank you, Andrew. It just took ages and ages and ages to get all this cold gal off. And then there's the doors. And you think, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that. And it doesn't turn out right, so you're doing it again. And because I can weld pretty well, but I'm not, I don't enjoy that side of it. I enjoy the stuff that everyone enjoys by just banging stuff back together. So it's like, I do a bit on the XC, then I get over it. But at the moment, I've got the black carpet. I found some green, which annoyed me. But then the guy sent out, oh, look, I've got it here. The guy sent out samples. So there's the blue for the Sigma, and I've ordered the cut in that. And when I saw the green on the website, I was bleeding because I thought that's going to match the green that I put on the seats and the vinyl. But this doesn't. That you can't see it on the camera, but that's more cerulean, which is the Holden green, like the Leaders and Colours had in the 80s. It's a beautiful colour, but it won't work with the XC, so I'm just sticking with black. So I've got all the carpet. I've got Jason doing the door cards. I've got to get the top inner belts, and then the door trims, the carpets can go in. It's not far. It's just not far. I've got to start. I haven't started in ages. And got to do the front guards and the boot. I'm about to do a bit of work on the boot, actually, because the boot's in bare metal. And I don't want it to be, I don't want it to surface rust. I've got to throw dioxazine on it. I've got to etch it, got to fill bits and pieces, and there's one little bit of rust I've got to cut out of it, just a tiny bit. And that's pretty easy. Thank you for that, Andrew. $5 is wonderful. I'm just doing my first 16 XW Futura. They're hard to get. The door cards are different between Falcon 500 and Fairmont. The Futura has its own door card. And I've got a friend, Michael Crump, that did the welding on that car, and he's got one that's beautiful, the original 302. Videos are a great help. Your video kickstarted me when I thought it was too much. Again, when I thought it was too much. It gets like that. Thanks for making it fun again. Thank you very much. And that's a great accolade. They do get to the point. The XW didn't stress me. I didn't get stressed once. I'm not stressed with the XC, but I got annoyed with it. And that's why I keep stopping and doing other stuff, because I shouldn't have done two sister cars back to back. I should have just done some small stuff between. But when I got the XC, I just ended up cutting half the metal out and putting new stuff in. You haven't made beer bread, no? You bloody legend, thank you. That's a nice thing to say. Yeah, so it's all fun. The Sigma's just great. 10mm socket, 12mm socket, Phillips head screw stick, you're out of there. You know what I mean? Pull the engine out. It's like, that's a baby. So I even got carried away and got the exhaust manifold ceramic coated, which is dumb, but I wanted to get heat away from the block. And I thought it'll look good until I eventually turbocharge it. So it's going to be fun. I want a turbo again because I had one that was great fun. What else have I been doing? Just work. Work is just horrendous. It's so busy. We've got to write all these. Thank you, Hugh. I'm well. How are you? I've got to write all these lesson plans for every lesson, which is fair enough. But the lesson plans are huge because they've got all these different facets in them. And now we're teaching more periods than we taught before. We've got 5-period day and 5 on days for twice a week. We're doing 5 on days, so you can't do any prep or anything like that then. It's stressful teaching. I want to go down to 0.9, which is a day every fortnight off. That's what I want to do next year. I'll just say they might not let me do it. But otherwise, it's all good. I come home and I get into the Sigma and all the stress just goes away. All the stress goes away. It's so easy. I'm into Victor 2 strikes. I have a 13. Wow. They ran 125s, 160 and a power torque, including a vortex. The one that's hard to get in the Victors is the 500 twin cylinder one. Very, very rare. Sigmas for sale. They're pulling good dollars. They are the only ones that are worth something, as far as I know, are turbos. Turbos are expensive. There's a turbo one for $5,000, but it's in bits, and I don't think the engine's there. And it's got a GLX as a parts car with a couple of sets of Montegos and stuff like that. Turbos are worth a lot of money, and ferrets, now we just call them ferrets, Peter Werrett ones, they're starting to get worth a lot too. Probably since Peter Werrett passed away, and he was a very, very good motoring journalist. On YouTube, you've got all the old talk programs, and Mark as well, which was another show he did. And he's such a good motoring journalist. And I don't like motoring journalists. I don't trust them because I think there's always an agenda, like that guy who does the Kias and Hyundais. Everything he says is just questionable. But Peter Werrett was unbiased. He was really, really good. And then he came out because he was a cross-dresser and his brother was gay and his dad used to beat him and all this. He suffered a lot. I think he was a legend. A teacher, 17 years. So I'm a tradesperson, I'm a mechanic and electronics technician, and then I became a school teacher 17 years ago. I was there at the school. Wow, Nathan, thanks, buddy. $10. Woohoo! You're a legend. I first was at the school in 2002. I didn't formally start till 2003 though. I'm going to flip it. No, I'm going to keep it. I've got to keep it. You know what I mean? You can't just do a car and sell it because then someone else gets it. I'm going to keep it. I like it, although I'm a bit worried about room. I have a twin, but only one cylinder firing. I don't know what you mean, James. Are you going to go original Sigma turbo engine or turbo carb setup? I'm going to make my own. My other one had a CD175, which everyone said would be too small. Some of them had twins, but the original ones only had a 175, and that thing started and ran beautifully. It never ran lean. It went like a rocket. It was reliable. It was great. And even I did the turbo on that at 90,000 Ks and sold it probably 15,000 after that to a guy called Cody Crocker, who used to race rally cars for Subaru. He had it for 100,000. I bought it back off him, and the engine was still really healthy. And that had a stock 2-litre, didn't do anything to it. All I did was put a decompression plate and 2 head gaskets, and I thought that would give trouble, and it never did. And it had a Borgie 5-speed too, and we used to cane that thing, and he did too. He ran the speedo right off the end of the gauge in 5th gear, so he must have been doing 200-ish kilometres an hour. I mean, one of those, that's terrible. And it never, ever gave a problem. At the end of it, it was sad, though, because my brother virtually gave it away, and they found a crack in the block. But the crack was around the Welsh plug where a lot of them go. So I'll either make my own manifold, exhaust manifold, or do something like that. I'll get an eBay or an equivalent turbocharger. I've looked at them. Some of them, I want an integral wastegate one, a smaller turbo, and I want one with a round outlet at the back so I can fabricate a pipe. I don't want, some of them have the big oval one. I don't want that. So, and I'll just use a CD, a draw-through setup. Original turbo stuff's just so expensive. It will be easy to put an AE4 2000 motor in an XW. Yeah, the only problem with that is if you go through Vic Roads, they'll see that the AU motor's got a 2000, or it was built in 2000, and what that means is your emission control. It'll have to be compliant with 2000's emissions. So if you've got a 2000 car or a 2000 engine and you change engines, it's no biggie, but whatever is the most recent has to comply with the emissions, if you know what I mean. Oh, thanks, Brett. $10, another $10. I've scored $25 today. I don't know how to get it out though, because once we finish this, I think the money's gone. I don't know how to actually claim it. I'm not sure. Cadogan is a pain in the neck. He is an intelligent bloke. I used to enjoy him, and then he was just so what's the word for it? He was so rude to people. And I thought, yeah, it'll get you subscribers if you tell everyone to F off and that they're idiots and all this sort of stuff. And should anyone who writes a comment make a punctuation error or anything, he reads it and he ridicules them. And I don't think ridicule's okay with anyone. There are people that you ridicule with your friends, but you do it in private. You don't publish it. And, you know, he goes on about Holden and Ford like they're criminals and they rip the Australian people off. I was a mechanic in the 90s. I was a roadworthy cars for a dealership, and Hyundais and Kias were awful at the time. We were getting wiring problems, and a couple of Kias had potential fires in them with short circuits. They didn't put grommets where wiring passed through sheet metal. Hyundai Excels had the lower control arms breaking off the body, and instead of seam welding them and pulling the interior apart and doing it properly, they were prop riveting them with stainless prop rivets. It was awful what they were doing, and they were putting a lot of families, particularly a lot of our small cars were second cars for the wife and the kids and all that sort of stuff, and they were putting people in huge amount of risk. And I thought that was terrible. And he promotes those cars, and they're good cars now, but at the time, they were bloody dangerous. You wouldn't put your wife and kids in one. Hi from South Africa. Hello, Tony. How are you today? Love your vids. Busy with similar projects I enjoy watching. You've got me looking at a Sigma. Oh, God, what have I done? Known as a Colt Galant here. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much, Tony. It's lovely to see you. Would a 2.6 turbo be an easier fit? Probably. The problem with 2.6s though is they've got a different gearbox. I think there's a large block, there's a wide block and a narrow block, and depending on which one depends on the gearbox. So I'm just going to use the 2-litre because it's there. I'll get another one. If I get a 2.6 and I can find the gearbox that fits a narrow 2.6, GE and GH used a wide block, I think. And the GE only came out as an auto, and I don't know what mine is. The 2-litre. If it's a wide block, all good. If it's a narrow block, I haven't got a clue. I just got to say, he called me an imbecile. Is this Cadogan? Cadogan is a big-head wanker. I think he's I don't know what he's like as a guy. He can be quite amusing. He did the a thing, and it was some grid. I can't remember what it was. It was really funny. Greetings from America. Hello, how are you, Josh? Cars you work on, not exactly familiar, no, they wouldn't be, but they're still interesting for sure. I'm sure they're emotionally ready for you to actually finish. Hang on. I'm not sure that I'm emotionally ready for you to actually finish any of them. I'll finish them. That's all. This year's the year for finishing cars. It wasn't supposed to be the year for starting them, which I did. If you're handy with computers, you should look at a.
Are you still talking?
I'm still talking, Alana. Come and look at this. I've got comments. Speeduino. Is that like an Arduino? We do them at school. I teach the kids about coding on Arduinos. Any luck with your Sigma gearbox rebuilding? No, I'll just rebuild. I'll just stick a couple of bearings in it. It's just got a couple of noisy bearings. I haven't looked at it yet, though. Hello for Mr. T in New Zealand. How are you? He's a shock jock, so yeah. I'm not interested in that stuff. There's another shock jock, Kyle, somebody. I think he's in Sydney, and he's Cameron Diaz, actress, came to Melbourne, or to Sydney, and she's lovely. There's no bad press about her, and he was just horrible to her. And I thought, you idiot, why would you do that? I mean, she's really lovely, and she comes across well. She conveys really well. And this guy just thought he'd go after her to look good, and he's just an overweight slob. Did any of the awful? Hang on. Did they have any of the awful 351 and 400 over there? No. Oh, you see them in. You see them in a lot of imports. I suppose you could have imported them back then, but you don't. They weren't available as retail vehicles from dealerships here, as far as I know. Yeah, open source issue using Arduino's powerful, isn't it? Do you ever get stressed? Yeah, I get stressed. XC stresses me every now and then. But as I said before, not really stressed, probably more annoyed with it. I get stressed at work. My work stresses me. And it's not the kids either. The kids are lovely to me. Although there is one kid, and I got cross with him because he found out I had a YouTube channel, and the latest video on the Sigma where I shot the engine bay with the touch-up gun, he's got 5 YouTube accounts, and he puts 5 dislikes on. I said, why would you do that? That's my pocket money. I said, can you remove them, please? He said, no. So I'll speak to him. I might speak to his mum. Just say, look, that's something I do as a hobby and it's personal. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Keith. That's lovely. But stress, yeah, just at work, not at home. I'm very relaxed here. From an engineering standpoint, Cadogan's facts are correct. Yeah, I have no doubt. Watch Honda Excel 250 bits on. Just checking. Thank you very much. The 57, I've got to get back to that. Cold War sent me a washer bag for it, which is wonderful. It's a Jiffy Jet. Mopar parts are 5 times dearer than Ford, and I bought a Ford. I've got this thing. I love washer bags instead of washer bottles. I just love them. I don't know why. I've put them in every old car I've got, and I've got a Ford one, the same as the XW one, which XW's never had them. I had a bottle, but it was behind the shocker tower with the bonnet hinges, and it's a pain in the neck, so I put this washer bag in. Anyway, I bought a Ford one because it was like $40 or something for the Plymouth. And he's like, no, you can't do that. And he sent me a Jiffy Jet one, and they're like $450. The repro ones. And he had a genuine one, and he steam cleaned it and sent it to me, and it looks beautiful. Big tomatoes, yes. I've got 2 18s in parts, and another guy's asked me to look at one, which I might. I just have a lot of trouble with time management and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll get back into those for sure. Plymouth is, wow, I love it. When are you going to the Sylvan Car Show? I don't go to many car shows. I went to a couple in the Manhattan. That's just down the road from here. And there was one on at London I was supposed to go to, and I forgot about it. I don't really go to car shows that often. I should. I used to go to the ROCD, the one at Flemington. Was that ROCD? The American one? I can't remember who did it, but it was good. My tea bag is getting dragged into my mouth. Winter is coming, and I'll tell you what, Andrew, I have to finish all the paint and everything on that little car before winter gets here because it's outside. I'm doing the whole thing outside. Christine is my favourite movie. Mine too. My daughter, we had trouble. She was always bad-tempered at 14, 15 years old. And to bond with her, I said, let's watch a horror movie because that's all she liked. And she said, what is it? I said, well, it's about a car. She goes, F off, blah, blah, blah. I'm not watching that. Anyway, I made her sit down and watch it with me, and she loved it. But I forgot about the language in it. And I speak too. It's no big deal. But I'm sitting there with a 14-year-old kid watching this movie. They're dropping seed bombs and all sorts of stuff. I'm just thinking, oh, I hope her mum doesn't walk in. G'day from Bendigo. Hi, how are you, Simon? Yeah, Josh, you're American, that's right. Yeah, winter sucks. We've got it coming. You need a Cold War Motors mug for your tea. I've got this one. Keep calm, Peter, and drink tea. And that shows that I do get stressed, particularly at work. And my wife, I think my children gave me that for Father's Day a few years ago. So I don't plan on selling any of them. Hey, XB Taz, how are you? But the Cold War Motors guys have a day minus 30 degrees. It's nuts. I don't know how they get out of bed in the day. I'm just taking a break from rebuilding the old 9-inch. My God, those centers are heavy. They are terribly heavy. How's the CB750? I haven't touched it. I've got to get a back wheel rim and tyre, some sprockets, a chain, and an exhaust, and it's finished. So I've just got to finish it. Hi from Wodonga. My wife's family from Wodonga. They're from Albury. And if you're from Wodonga, there's a racehorse trainer up there, Liz Albers. She's my wife's auntie, and she just recently retired. I love it up there. It's nice. We go up to Wodonga probably once a year and then down to Beechworth. There's a whole lot of video footage I took in Beechworth that I was going to include on one of the videos, and I forgot because it was on my phone, not on the phone. That's my YouTube phone. That's what I shoot everything with. And it's just a Galaxy Note, and it's got no SIM card in it. That's my son's old phone, and I use it for everything. I didn't have it with me when I shot all this Bendigo footage in this sweet shop and all that sort of stuff on my regular phone. And consequently forgot, so it's still there. Good morning, Peter. Bloody love your mindset. Thanks, Average Joe. Brother's Mustang. Oh, he does my head in, my poor brother. He's got an NGC 6-cylinder. He's doing a full rebuild and fuel injection and everything on it, alongside the Mustang. So the MG is now at the Healy factory, and they're doing some work on it, bits and pieces. And so he's dragged the Mustang out. So the Mustang, he's got everything there to finish it. He's like me with the XE, he just stops and does other stuff. I should go and film some stuff. I bought an alternating one when I pulled the windscreen, the frame that's held together with the hacksaw blades, and yeah, that's exactly what they're like. And that's why mine looked rust-free, but I knew it wouldn't be. How do you... Oh, I'm going to allow that. That's a nice comment. James French. Where'd it go? How do you keep track of all the bits when you pull components apart? Do you mess it up? That's something I'd say too. On reassembly, no. I have them all in different boxes and I just remember stuff. Cars are pretty simple, particularly old cars. New ones are complicated. I wouldn't be able to do that if I had a bunch of V8 Commodores or something, but on this old stuff, it's easy. Even the bolts are sort of unique to each one. Signal's looking great. It's looking better now because I've just cleared it, but I stuffed it all up. MGC is a 6-cylinder. It's like an MGB, but they've got a 6-cylinder 3-litre in it. Just spotted the XL250 for sale. How hard did you find for source parts? Side covers. Well, the side covers, David had parts bike, so it was pretty easy. And they still make parts for them. Signing out. See you later, Mr. T. Thank you very much for joining us. How much time have I got? 100 people here. 28 minutes. I'll go another half hour probably, if I can. New watcher to your channel. Awesome stuff and very helpful. Love me tea. Your XC videos are invaluable to me as I'm starting an XC Ute. Build and keep up the great videos. Thank you very much. 40 by 40. I'm glad you like them. The XL, yes, it's got terrible piston slab, so I've rebored it and got a new piston kit. And I'm just waiting for the crank to get back and I can bang them back together. Are you going to restore the XD one day or just keep the old girl original? Keep it original. I have to repaint the roof because I had a car cover and it was under there and it leaked and damaged the paint. So I've got to repaint the roof, and the engine's tired. I've got a 5.8 engine here for it, an original bore one, and I will put that in. But the original engine I'm not going to pull apart because it's still such a sweet little runner I just wanted a bit healthier for the road. I don't like cars that blow smoke when you start them. It's just valve stem seals and stuff, but I'll just see. I'm not touching it though at the moment. I've got a video to do on the cooler for it. What's the next upload? I've got some video footage of the front seats. They didn't turn out as well as I wanted. The whole Sigma's not turning out as nice as what it could because I'm doing it on the cheap and I'm doing it quickly. I've got 15 minutes of footage, but I don't want to keep repeating myself, do you know what I mean? Because that gets boring. But I just clear coated the engine bay today and that stuff to do. Do you want an BCS Ecotech? No, I don't need. I haven't got a car for one of those at the moment, but thank you very much for offering. Another trip to the Wreckers. Not yet. I was going to go back. I'm half thinking about getting that engine, but I can't be bothered. Get a Leyland Marina 6. There's one advertised. The funny thing about Marinas is if you... The two-door ones are just a four-door without the back doors. The front doors are the same. I was a Sigma guy once. Yeah, Windsor and them. People always stick me out to them. You've got to get an auto shell though, because the tunnel will hold a C4 or an AOD. The standard manual shell won't. Well, you can change the tunnel out pretty easy. A two-stroke GR 750 with a bench. I wouldn't have the time. I wouldn't mind doing something like that, but I just wouldn't have the time. But thanks for asking. Are you going to frame the rock? Rosie, where's your rock? Do you watch Pete C? He's doing really well with his channel. He's getting heaps of subscribers. And he started off like me, I suppose. Although he's not a mechanic, I don't know what he was before, but he's doing really well with his channel. All Cortina stuff, Cortina City. I watch him from time to time. His videos are very long though. No, I didn't do the clear outside. I did it in the garage, but I used the wrong prep wash, and I also hit it. I didn't set the gun up properly. I was in a hurry. Here's the rock.
Be careful with it.
Yeah, well, it'll break my table. Here's the rock. For those interested, that's
It's a very special part of our family.
Mercy Creek. Thanks for the rock, Rose. What am I up to? The rock. Restore the rock, Rosie. Hey, do you want me to clear it? I've got some clear coat. We'll make it shiny.
Oh, yay.
Oh, Dick Johnson. Yeah, he put his rock. That rock is the pick apart rock we got from the Wreckers.
Always get a rock from like this.
It's a good rock.
I love it.
I had a problem buying it, but they gave it to us for free, so it was all good.
A bit expensive.
She's a good kid. She mucks up. No, we don't have any advice for the PCV. Mr. Anderson, are you going to do a victory burnout on the Sigma? No, because I'll break the differential. I did one in our old one, and I popped the diff. They're not very strong. Oh, yes, a GD 750 water bottle. They're beautiful. God, I'd love to do that. That'd be great. I just wouldn't have the time. And I need to learn about them too before I do. Like you pull it apart and you want to learn so you know exactly what you're doing. But yes, they're beautiful. We call them water bottles. We get called water buffaloes and all sorts of things. We just call water bottles. Yes, the Rockstar. So what's this? Funny thing, I had a 67 Cortina Mark II and a 68 Cortina Estate wagon. While I was stationed in England during the 80s, they were both rust buckets, but I enjoyed working on them. Yeah, England, they have that. Same with parts of the America, parts of the States and Canada. They put salt on the roads and just eats cars. You're up your rocker, Rosie. I had a V8 coming when I was younger. Oh, Jaguars. I used to work on those Wild Horse motors. They are pains in the neck to work on. One guy was doing plugs on a 12. It was an ex-Jace and he was a little guy and he was kneeling on the guards doing the plugs. Jag used to give you something like 5.5 hours. You gotta lift up the fuel rail and the air conditioning compressor and everything on the B12s. And when he took the guard covers off, they were all rippled where his knees had been. So they had to get Mr. Tap Tap out, the paintless guy, to take the dent out. It was horrendous. He got in a lot of trouble for that. This is just tea. See? Tea bag. Newcastle. Wonderful. Lovely to see you've been trying the internet looking for my new car project. I left a comment on one of the Sigma videos with the link to the $500 Sigma on eBay. Oh, that was a GJ. Did I not respond? I normally try and respond to like 30 or 40 comments. I'm sorry if I didn't respond. When are you thinking of rebuilding a bike? What do you look for when you're searching for parts? And how would you get back to date? I misread that. When thinking of rebuilding a bike, what do you look for or when so? Alright, so I think this is the way you're interpreting it. The I did Hondas because Hondas, there's a good spare part support for them, and the value on them is pretty good. The Suzuki and Kawasaki stuff, unless it's special, in the case of a Kawasaki, if it's a Z1 or a Mach 3 or an H1 or H2 or something, they're really, and the Suzuki's like the water bottle, they all have special models, but they're just a general universal motorcycle, the Japanese motorcycle, whatever they call it, UJM, I think they're called. The Hondas are sort of the benchmark of that. So any four-cylinder Hondas, or even the twins from the 70s, retain good value. So they're really, you can't kind of go wrong with them. And I had them when I was young, so they've always got a special place with me. The solar around here is insane. Yeah, I just drive a bang around in the winter. Yeah, they're a water bottle. When would we crossover video with you and Cole Motors? I don't know if it's possible because your videos are your videos, and I mention them quite a bit in mine because they've got a work ethic I like, and I like the cars they do. Their videos are their videos, and unless I went there and said hello to them, I'd probably show up on one of these if I did that. But I don't know. I mean, if they wanted to do it, I'd do it, I guess, because I do have a lot of respect for them. They're very, very good guys. But they're, it's a time thing. They're busy and I'm busy. But they're the only ones I really like. I like the Project Binky, but those guys are engineers. They're a bit above my level of skill. They're great. Hello, Philip. How are you? Oh, KDX 200, 1997 for Freddie. Needs a full resto. That'd be pretty cool. Russell Blackwell. I'm thinking of. Thank you, Russell. Is he? I thought you were Robert Blackwell. I bought my first CB 350 from a guy in Croydon called Robert Blackwell. I thought it was you from there. How are you, Russell? Good luck with Sigmas. They're a car you never see in Japan anymore. You don't see them here either because they're all rusted out and drilled into the ground. Woman driven with a GT 350. No. Project Binky, yeah, it is awesome. Good to hear, Phil. Yeah, that'd be good. Free stuff's always good, isn't it? Cole Motors guys are bloody funny. Project Binky often do crossover with MC Mighty Car Mods, do they? They have Ed China on there from time. I've seen him on there too. Mighty Car Mods leave comments. I've seen one of their comments on Project Binky's. Yeah. Yeah, no, they're brilliant. They're really, really clever, those guys. I don't know what they're going to do when they finish it, though. Maybe another car or something. I'm not sure what they'll do, but they're doing very well with this stuff. This is really good. And I earn good pocket money from this, and I've only got a very small channel. Mine's only 15,000 subs. These guys are like 100,000 subs and up. They must be getting good money out of that. But most of mine, what I earn is through Patreon, and I'm always eternally grateful for the Patreon people that contribute because it pays for a lot of stuff. Like Patreon comes in like the 6th, I think it comes in, and I'm going to go and pick up power steering for the Sigma with it. And that's all good. I really like that. The end is them. So they've got to go and do paint and body. I love less appreciated cars like the Sigma. A lady at my church had a comparatively rare Chrysler badged SE green metallic with matching crushed velour interior. They're nice. I was given one like that, a GH SE with green, and it was beautiful, but it was rusted out and the interior was knackered, but it would have been beautiful this day. Green's my favourite colour. Yeah, they probably will. Did you see Chainman going off at the summer nets? No, I didn't. G9 garage, no. When I'm not, this is downtime and I'm about to go out and put everything away, and I nearly dropped the Sigma. I was pushing in the garage to do the clear and the jack slipped and I nearly dropped it at the front. And so I've got to pull that stuff away, and what I normally do is I work, whether it be schoolwork on the computer here or work outside. I normally work to about 8:30 and come in and have a shower. I watch TV for a couple of hours and go to bed. I don't like sitting here, and I don't come inside unless the weather's really rotten. But I just don't. I can't remember what I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I watch it, but I watch bits of it. Like Pete C's Cortinas, his videos can go over an hour, and I'll just get a synopsis of what's going on. Do you know what I mean? If I want to see it. And the same with other people as well. I watch the Cold War stuff from start to finish because I enjoy it. And I used to watch a lot of Big Clive from start to finish, but even him I don't watch that much anymore. Southern England, how are you? My family from Northern England, from Manchester and Lytham St Anne's. If you get the chance to have a look, this bloke is amazing. There's a few really clever guys on YouTube. Sound quality is not very. Is there anything you can do to improve it? Is that the videos or this? It's probably the videos. I'm just using. I said it before. That's my entire movie studio. And people always complain about the sound, but I don't plan to go outside. I just always do, and I don't plan anything I'm saying. I just turn it on and just chat. And then when I come in, I get rid of bad language. I get rid of noises, you know, or kids fighting, or if a dog won't stop barking, or if something sounds like a fart or whatever. I'll get rid of all those sorts of noises. And just, I don't plan anything. I just do it as I can. So that's the reason I don't connect external mics and all that sort of stuff, because by the time I do it, I forget what mechanical thing I was going to do, which is bad for you, but that's the way I get to doing it. That's just the way I sort of do it, if you know what I mean. Oh, gee whiz, what else is there? I don't think this is tea, it's going cold. Can you write down for that? Sell t-shirts, I should. I just saw a comment about selling t-shirts. A guy did a lovely XW one for me, and so it's like an XW workshop manual type one, and I forgot who he was, and I'd love to know who it was. But I really want to do some merchandising. I claim everything I make, whether it be advertising with Google or Patreon, I pay tax on it, because the tax department here can be pretty nasty if they want to be, and it's just easier not getting hassled. So if I made too much money with it, I'd probably be paying a ton of tax. What was I up to? What's happening with my kitchen? My kitchen rules and Married at First Sight, the only things that can stop him. Yeah, my kids and wife watch all that My Kitchen Rules stuff. I get a bit annoyed with it. You know. Do no worries. Thank you very much. The NC Fairlane, you don't have to. I can handle it. What was James saying before that? I missed that. I sold that car. Hang on. Slang terminology, words, screw stick, gear bag. I used to use that at Etheridge Ford when I was there in the late 80s. Started off with a guy called Dave Patterson, and he's a service manager, I think now. He was an apprentice at the time. He used to call them gear bags, and it just stuck. Instead of a box, it's a bag. Screw sticks and all, we used to bounce them on concrete, and I got it to the point where I could bounce two Phillips heads, because they leave your hand easily, and you bounce them and then they twirl and you catch them, if you know what I mean. It takes a lot of practice. I used to be able to do it. I keep dropping them now. What do we got? The other sort of taking on an apprentice with you at home. No, I wouldn't have time. I'd have to be doing this full time, and even then, it's hard to get good apprentices. I do like to see people who enjoy the older cars. Lately, been enjoying your Sigma project, Hubnut, and aging wheels. Got to have fun with Hubnut. I've seen a bit of Hubnut stuff. He always looks like he needs to wash his hair, though. I shouldn't say that, should I? Hubnut's pretty good. What was I going to do? Do you think of Marvel Mystery Oil? We don't get here. I make my own sort of stuff, penetrating oil and that sort of stuff. But yeah, we don't get it. We don't get PB Blaster, which the Americans always talk about, and Marvels. We don't get it. LCLJ, do you have any interest in stock? I love them, and I want another one. I've had 4 LJ Tyrannos, but I don't have one now. And I'd love one, but I don't know where to put one. Hello from Washington State, USA. How are you today? It's lovely to see you. Quick hello, can't stay, but I'm enjoying the Sigma series. Thank you very much, Scott. Like watching your restore channels, like really random channel, he restores all different stuff. I'll have to have a look at that. Peter, have you ever seen Peter Werrick's test drive of a Sigma? Yes, I watched it. It's buried with one of those talk videos. Can't remember which one. It's on with the yellow XD 6-cylinder that he's testing as well. Old Aussie slang. Yeah, everything's punctuated with bad language, and we've got to clean up our act on here. Let the girls watch MKR. You play your garage rules. Yeah, they do. They watch all that stuff. I don't watch it up. I get frustrated. If anyone said to me, you're going to get voted out, I'd say, good. I can go home and work on the car. See you later. I just wouldn't be into that. I wouldn't even go on it. Not that I would be selected anyway, but what do you do? How do you think the RTA would like if we splice 3 cars together to make a daily? Well, as long as they didn't know, it wouldn't matter. Anything pre-98, you can get away with that stuff. After that, if it's been on the written off vehicle register, they're going to make it really hard for you. Anything that's been on there to re-register is a pain, which is why you never touch anything that's been on there. Porn star mustache, I've heard that a million times. Jason Hill's videos are good too. I reckon he'd be a good bloke to have a couple of beers with. He's a lovely guy. Jason gets stressed though. I think he's had a few people not paying for jobs he's done, and it's cost him a lot. Jason does it pretty hard sometimes. Are you a gay out of work porn star? No. I've got a couple of gay mates, but not me. South Marine, g'day Sean. South Marine. I knew a guy who used to play footy for South Marine. Nigel King, was it? There was a few of them. Carlos, you're a tool. No, he's alright. He's trolling me a bit. That's alright. Fine if you're being Peter, pulling a piss, but otherwise don't bother. It's all good. I don't mind that. My Starlet, listen to this. My little blue Starlet. I love that car. My shopping centre car. The kid said to me, teen boy, goes, that is hands down the gayest car I've ever seen, Stan. I said, fine, jump in. You should never say that to a kid, but he's a good kid. I know his mum. I know his mum, and I know his sisters. Not seen Aussie porn. Any tips? No, I don't watch it. Nord Parade Auto Speed 54. Did they? I'm gonna have to buy some. Marvel Mystery Oil. Everyone bangs on about Marvel bloody Mystery Oil. I'm gonna get some, and then I'll review it, and I'll piss everyone off because I mean, how good can it be? It must be good though, because everyone talks about it. Do you mean you have a mate who's not gay, but his boyfriend is? No, I've got a couple of friends. I haven't seen him for a while. Jokes will be jokes. Hello, Rick. How are you? Thank you for all your videos. I don't have any older generation members to teach me anything. I really appreciate people, your attitude of wanting to teach. Thank you very much. Did you see the talk video on YouTube where Werrick slams the HJ Premier? He's on a GMH's Christmas list. He didn't say nice things about the XC either. He said something nasty about that. But at the end of the day, they were Newcastle at the time. If they weren't up to par, he said something. I liked him. I thought he was good. And if the XC, I mean, I remember my brother had an XC and I've had 2, and neither of them drove nearly as well as the XD. And they should have been pretty much the same. The XDs were a bit lighter, and I think there was a geometrical change in the front suspension, but I don't think that would have been about it. Maybe they had a better sway bar or something. They just drove better. And if he said it was crap, I would believe him. I take that guy very seriously with what he said. Commemorative t-shirts. I've got it, yeah, I've got to do it. My dad is a 95. My dad in 95 sold his light blue XC wagon to get a Holden Camira. I wonder if he liked it. His view on the XC was quite positive from memory. He talked about rear discs and all that. Yeah, he did. But he also bagged it for some reason. I can't remember what it was. Been watching you work for a few years now. It's coming up. The Sigma's great. Oh, man, come back. Thank you very much. My son is hooked as well. Ever thought about... Oh, that'd be great to do a combi. Get a lot of views doing a combi too. In short, I missed that. So, yeah, you would. That's why I buy all the old cars I've had. Because I miss them. Peter Ware told it how it was. He was great. I thought he was wonderful. When you draw your attention to detail, you won't enjoy the Sigma because I've been missing a few bits on that, but I've done that intentionally. You put many of the professionals to shame. I know I was one of them. Thank you very much. Oh, that's so kind. The XD model was the... Hang on, I've missed it up. Yeah, where they were jacked up, but the doors wouldn't close. Yeah, they did have some body flex in them. Camille was playing back up. I think the JE was all right, the 2-litre one. The JB and the JD weren't though. I don't know, I might be wrong. Somebody focus on his pension. Hang on, where are we? Yes, of course it was. He came out at the wrong time. That was the thing. The world wasn't ready for that, but I know my family didn't care. What clear? I used an ISO-free 2-pack. It looks smooth out nicely, and I'm looking for some 2K. Don't use regular 2K. It's full of isocyanates. Use the isocyanate free. It's much better for DIY. Normally, I just use acrylic, the concept stuff. But having said that, I've mucked up the clear. I've been doing it the other day. The Geminis were a damn good car. They were like Corollas of their day. And I learned to drive in a Gemini. They were super easy to drive. They were wonderful cars. You've given me inspiration to finish my XY GS Fairmont. That is a nice car. Even though it's a Sigma, yeah, the Sigma's a crappy cars, but I kind of like it. I've taken a lot of tips. Love watching the Sigma SO as much as the others. Thank you very much, Rick, because I wouldn't have thought I would get feedback like that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a Sigma. Hello, Harvey. No, I didn't know it was on. I just had some time, so I turned the camera on. How are you, Harvey? Well, thanks for sharing all your experiences in backyard motoring. Are there any special tricks for starting an extension after 18 months? What I'm going to do is pull the plugs out. I'll spray some CRC in there. I'll take the distributor out, get a cordless drill, get oil pressure up first. Make sure it's all circulating in oil. We'll lubricate the bores, bang the plugs back in, from starting up. Brother Stang's good, but he hasn't done anything. Hi, people. Busy. G'day, Anton. How's that work? And Thonno. Would be great to see some fabrication work you do. Normally when I'm doing fabrication stuff, I'm in the zone and I don't think about a camera. And I don't actually want to film it, but I should. Most of the guys that do that sort of stuff, if you look on YouTube, although Project Binky do, they show the makings of bits and pieces. But yeah, I find it a lot more difficult than them, so I have to sort of really concentrate on it. Yeah, XD cab. If you care to, I work for a company called TT Workshops. Good and bad, very frustrating. Hold come here, 11 of the century. Once I won a sticker that said powered by Centrelink. I think Centrelink would probably have to be what it used to be Department of Social Security and had the CES employment service and it was flawless. Everything worked. You go and get a job there, you pick up the ticket, you go get an interview. It all worked really well, but since Centrelink have been around, we've had nothing but trouble with them. It is hands down the most inefficient government department, and they make mistakes and then charge you for it. When I was studying, they put me on Oz study, and then they wanted all the money back. And I said, but I told you I was working now, and they said, it doesn't matter, we need the money back because you've done this and you've done that, which I didn't even know. I was honest with them. So I ended up paying the money back or agreeing to let them take money out to pay back. And then one day I got a letter from a debt collector because they stopped taking the money out. And I said, why? And they said, that's between you and them. You're in trouble. You owe us all this money. It was $2,000. And then I rang Centrelink and said, why did you stop taking it out? They said, we can't explain that. They're just a joke. I think they're the worst government department. They're rotten. Van Commodore was a bogan car of the century. VLs are there too. But I love VLs. What's your opinion on restoring 88 VL Commodore one owner? Get it and hang on to it. They're worth a lot of money now. they've got a bad name with the Yobbo population, but I had a VL Berliner manual, and I should never have sold that either. They're a great car. Would you believe they're worth money? Yes, they are. They're worth a lot of money. Good VL Commodores, a little low. That's a different problem. The JB model was an all-round crappy car. The JE looks nice. The JE was alright, I thought. How's your brother's Mustang? Same as usual. Not going anywhere, but it's looking good. What are we up to? They're nice but all original. Yeah, VLs. Most of the turbos now are aftermarket, like I'm going to do the Sigma. Yeah. Just gotta say, mate, love the work you do on those cars and passing the skills on to the kids. Thank you very much. Should I go soon? Well, nearly an hour. Peter, where it said the XCGX5 was lacking the rear leg. Oh, yes, he did say that, and it's true. The 5.8 was too thirsty, and you've got to remember that was the fuel crisis back then. For the average person, the front wheel disc brakes should be on all Falcons. He did. That's exactly what he said. Thank you very much. Did you say how to beat? No, it's VL Berliner. Oh, they were great little cars, weren't they? Skylines as well. Sandman edition. Early VB Commodores had. Now, they were VCs that had the four bangers. The four banger came out as the blue Starfire. We used to call them backfire fours. They were a 2850 or a 173 lacking 2 cylinders. They first showed up in the VC, I'm sure, with 13-inch wheels. I used to see Sigma everywhere in the streets back in the day after the commuter my parents bought an 85 Magna. They were good when they were new, but they didn't age well either. We had one that gave us nothing but trouble. 120 wires are very reliable. Little A series Datsun engine. See you later, Lindsay. Thanks very much for joining us. Starfire, misfire, backfire, yeah, they called them all sorts of things. They weren't very good. They had them in Coronas as well, Toyota Coronas. Just picked up one owner VN 5 litre yesterday, full logbook history, 135,000 on the clock, even still has factory 5 litre hubcaps. Just an executive, but a classic. Hang on to it, leave it stock, because it'll be worth a lot of money. Dado 200Bs, I don't know much about them. I've been impressed with the deals that you've made with the platers. Huge difference. It does. They do great work, don't they? I use Warner's in Bayswater on Power Road. V-built over the 4-banger. Didn't know that. I think they were factory released as a blue motor in the BC. But, what do we got? Signal looks good. Thanks very much. Magnus had weak dips. Mine was a VL Berliner manual that my brother sent to HCT to get improvements made, but he didn't spend enough to actually get a plate on it. The rego was CWU464, and I saw it about 10 years ago in Bayswater, got on rego check, and it's listed as stolen. And the rego was cancelled in 2003, so I don't know what story that is. It was originally an Opel. Oh, I see what you mean. Christine making a comeback soon-ish. I've got a okay. The Plymouth is going to Jason's to be retrimmed at the end of the year when he gets his Fairland at Paint and Panel. I think it's going there then, but that's up to him. Hello, Diego. How are you? So yeah, it just depends. Like when Jason can take it, because I want to get it out of there so I can get the Ford in, and I've got to paint the roof on the XD and the Sigma. I've got to paint some of the stuff on there, but I just want to get that thing registered first, get the Sigma registered first. Hello, Joe. Oh, not much. It's all good. I'm just having tea, which is cost needs. Needs the brakes looking out. Okay, I'm probably frozen because I'm staying still. We're right on an hour. No, my internet's Optus cable, so when I'm on NBN, that's when it'll start freezing. KE Gear Sedan EFI Overdrive, they're great little cars. KCs and KE lasers are hard to get now, and they were such a good car. Are you Australian? Yes, I'm Australian. My family is I'm first generation Australian. Right? No, I haven't had to get a vascular or a mod plate, thank goodness. Yeah, everyone's asking about the Plymouth. Haven't done anything. I need to spend thousands of dollars on the interior, and I'm just not ready to. But that's why Jason's doing it. 2004 Monero last week, beautiful. $6,000. Wow, that's cheap. TX3 Turbo 4x4. God, they're rare. I remember when they were new. They're such a nice little car. They're a beautiful little car. They're a Mazda 323. They're so good. They used to call them Mazda Familiar, the Japanese. How many people here? 93, and I've been on for a bit over an hour. We're now on 4:30. Should I stay a bit longer? Is it consistent? They were good little cars. A 1600 twin cam. They were beautiful little cars. I love them. Current Toyota Kluger. Don't know much about them. Hi from Florida. Hi Ian. How are you? How is your weather in Florida? Is it unpredictable? Do you get a lot of cyclones and that sort of stuff? I don't know if those guys are talking to me or among themselves. Put an ED XR driveline in an EA. EAs didn't come with the V8, even though the body's well and truly good enough, but you would have to have some sort of engineers for that. If you just did it in an EV or something like that that actually came with a V8, that model, it wouldn't be such a big deal. So I sticking a V8 in an XF, it's not a problem because they're built for a V8. But the moment you say V8 in a car that actually wasn't released with one, that's when thicker roads go, like that. Love your channels. Love the builds. 2 questions. How do you get so much done and how do you remember where everything goes? I just remember because each car is different and I've got boxes of stuff. My problem is I forget where the boxes are. They're in the shed, they're in the garage, or under this bench, or under that bench. I jam them in little shelves and whatnot and I forget where I put them. But once I've got the parts in my hand, I can just put them together. Have you thought about building an XT? Yeah, an XT with a barrel would be a very, very fast car, but I don't drive fast. I like the old school stuff a bit. But no, I've never thought about it. But people sticking LSs and barrels in when they fly. How do you see to run in the Audi's luxury pack? Cloth seats, full instrumentation, forward disc rusted out in the boot area, ended up in the wreckers. Nowadays it's safer. Saw a VL turbo registered on CWM plates once, would be worth a fortune. I remember my brother bought, because he bought our Berliner new, and he could have had an SL Turbo for the same price. He paid $17,000 for his Berliner. That's when I ended up with FX GT for $500. Whoa. EF XR8 manual. They're beautiful EFs. They're the most underrated Ford. I really like them. The XFs aren't actually built for V8. The shock towers need to be stitch welded to support. Oh, do they? My XD's got bolts. It's got a plate under there that's bolted in. I think later ones were welded, but mine's actually an early V8 XD. 1600 twin cams in the later Capri convertible. Thanks for telling me about that expectation. I didn't know. Where's your little stirrer? The girl with the pet rock, Rosie. She's in the next room. She bought the rock in a minute ago and we all had a look at it. You inspired me with the Starlet cleanup. I'm doing the same thing with the 90 Civic Hatch. Good on you. I did the same with the Sigma, but the Sigma's upholstery was all baggy and loose, so it didn't look nearly as good. But that's what I'm going with, because I'm not going to spend any more money on it. Your wheel steering is on the left. I guess my steering wheel's on the right. It's on the right-hand side of the car. We drive on the left. What would you think of putting a power glide into a standard V6 VN to arrest the jackrabbit takeoff? I don't like power glides because most of the power glides you get, they don't have a 1-to-1 ratio in top gear. They're at like 1 point something and they don't, so they rev their heads off. But that's just a little bit I know about them. The V6 VN certainly have a torque for a power glide. How do you assess the cost benefit of a build? I guess what it's going to cost me, looking at everything, and I see if it's worth it as opposed to what I can sell it for at the end, which I never usually sell them. But the Sigma, I'll spend probably more than it's worth. But I don't mind copping a $500 loss on a car if I sell it. Having said that, I used to lose a lot of money on cars back when I was young, but now lately I've never lost money on a car when I've sold it. I've always sold them at profit. But the a thing like the XW or the XC, both of those cars will have had about 27 grand dropped on them, and you're going to get that back. An XW is probably worth double that now. But on cars like a Sigma, you can spend 2 grand, and it's questionable whether you get it back. The difference is, though, when someone sees it looking so nice, they're not going to see another one as nice, and that's where you're selling the look of it more over than what it is, I would think. An old rotary, yeah, I probably would if I knew anything about them. I've just got no room to, but I will get to the point where I've got too many cars here and I want to do another one, so then I will start selling things off. My house is very clean, thank you very much. It's not really, it needs tidying up. Strangely, whatever, I think, yeah, you see a style and you think of this. Germans are brilliant. What else we got? BMW, oh yes, they're quite nice. 2002 BMWs. Kiwis had a Chimera 2-litre engine in some of their VNs. Ugh, that wouldn't be very nice. Kraut's over-engineer. They're very clever though. The Germans engineer stuff, the Japanese seem to copy it. Open EFX RO manual with only 140,000 cars, thinking about it stroke, lacking power. I think did you say that before? I might have missed that one. I'd leave it original, but then I drive like a granny anyway. Remember my grandfather buying an XD Fairmont gear 351 auto, was white with gearing, brand new, traded on an XF Fairmont gear, and was later a Fairmont gear. I think the XD was the car to keep, me too. Just because now they're worth something. Original 351 Fairmont gear, they're just so rare because that was when the fuel crisis was. I think you should hold on to the Sigma once you've restored it, mostly because they'll likely go up in value in the next few years. Yeah, they probably will. Yeah, I'll hang on to it because I like it. Any news? Yeah, I'll get back into the bike soon. I haven't sort of done much with those at the moment. The weather's too nice. I like being outside. Thoughts on a CB250? Just got my learners. They're good, robust little bikes. Most of the time, people don't hang on to them once they've got some practice on the road. I would probably get a Lambs approved earlier bike with a bigger engine, because that way you've got some resale. In saying that, though, it might not be as safe, if you know what I mean. Bikes aren't safe anyway, but it's your call. You can get a new CB250 for about 2 grand. It depends on the model, I suppose. I like old stuff because you always get your money back. Okay, XBT, see you later. I'm going to go too. You have a good one too. Thank you very much for joining me, and thanks for your input too. And I learned something from you too. That's excellent. Yeah. So yeah, you'll probably find once you get used to the 250, it'll annoy you a bit. 500's now Lambs approved, and they're a lot more powerful. Yeah, I wouldn't mind more, but I live so close to work, and all the places in industry that I visit in this area are very, very close, and I don't want to give that up. I'm moving further out. Susie's still got divorce papers. Yeah, I think she's not very happy with me. But you know, she had horses. She hasn't got her horses anymore. I said, let's get some more horses. You know. I sent you an email, Susie and Peter Anderson. Yes, that's us. Susie, yeah, that's your email. A week or so back, we'd love you to get back to me if you find the time. I don't often go in there, but I will have a look for you. What car is next on the builder list? Oh, I've got to finish the ones I've got. I've got to finish that XC. See you later, Philip. I'm going to go too. Oh, you're a petrol fed, yes. Buick. The Ford 4-litre, you can do. It's easy to turbocharge them. I'm going to have to go. I have to go. I've got to go and clean up outside. I've got crap everywhere. So, thank you very much to everyone who's joined. It's been wonderful catching up. I don't... Normally, I'll delete these live feeds. Last time I did because there was some swearing in it, so I've been good and tried not to swear. And because I don't want a record that I've ever sworn here, and you know what I mean. So, thanks very much for joining me. I'm going to go outside, do my work, and I'll have another video up in... I don't know, a few days. I don't plan anything, I just do it. Do you know what I mean? It's easier. Anyway, Take good care of yourselves, and I'll chat to you soon. And I'll just try and I can't even remember how to turn this off. End stream. Do I do that? Yep, I do.